Kyiv. The world has seen the impact Russia's brutal military assault on Ukraine through missiles, drones and artillery shells. But another insidious attack has gone largely unnoticed outside the country. A vast network Russian agents is suspected being entrenched in every sphere. Parliament. Summary of Ukrainian life. From television networks to television networks. The former governor of Donetsk told the Daily Beast that President Zelensky has not done enough rescue pro-Russian political figures and fears that new efforts to strengthen and streamline intelligence gathering could lead even more damaging Russian influence. Kiev was shining with traces phosphorus that someone had left for Russian helicopters in the first days of the war, said Serhiy Taruta, now a member parliament. He fears that current Russian espionage is more subtle but just as dangerous. Another member parliament was arrested by the Security Service of Ukraine in September following accusations treason during a raid on Nestor Shuphrych's property. The SBU said it found a pile of pro-Kremlin memorabilia. He allegedly had dozens of old weapons from the Russian Empire and the Soviet era, as well as military uniforms and display cases filled with patriotic Russian symbols banned in Ukraine. Shufrych, who also owns a television channel, is reportedly accused of being President Putin's spokesman and working for a spymaster who until recently was the former deputy secretary of Ukraine's National Security Council. When the war began, Vladimir Sivkovich was in the inner bunker of Ukrainian security. Quote, Ivan Pietukhov, vice president of the Union of Industrialists and Entrepreneurs the U.S. last year told Sivkovich that he had FSB ties and was working with a network of Russian intelligence actors conduct influence operations, including efforts persuade Kiev cede Crimea Russia and infamous efforts influence Ukraine. He claimed and imposed sanctions in favor of then-President Donald Trump in the 2020 U.S. presidential election. According to the State Bureau of Investigation, Sivkovich was working with the FSB to create a spy network in Ukraine. The Daily Beast spoke politicians, businessmen, security officials, army veterans about President Volodymyr Zelensky's efforts to purge Kiev's system, corruption and Moscow's agents of influence. It is a persistent, suffocating problem in Ukraine, often likened the tentacles a giant octopus. Since the early days the Kiev War, Ukrainian intelligence has been catching Russian spies on its territory, including members of Ukrainian security agencies accused collecting and transmitting classified state information to Russian representatives and trying to influence security-related personnel decisions. Ukrainian agencies. One of those arrested and charged with treason was Oleh Kulinich, head the Crimean Directorate the Security Service Ukraine. He was arrested in July 2022 on charges recruiting Russian-friendly agents on Moscow's orders. A military counter